Welcome! Today we're diving into the really high-stakes world of equity derivatives. We are going to break down the essential safety rules from the NISM's official guide to help you protect your investments. We're zeroing in on sales practices and investor protection. So let's get right into it. First things first, a major reality check. A recent CB study dropped an absolute bombshell of a statistic. Are you ready for this? A staggering 9 out of 10 individual traders in the equity futures and options segment end up losing money. Not just breaking even, actively losing money. Just let that sink in for a second. So, with odds stacked against you like that, the big question is, how do you protect your hard-earned capital? Well, that is exactly what we are going to unpack today. This isn't about scaring you, it's about making sure you're prepared. Okay, so here's our game plan. We'll start with what we're calling the investor's dilemma. Then we'll build your first line of defense with your financial ID. After that, we'll get into navigating the real risks out there, lay out a rescue plan for when things go wrong, and wrap it all up with a simple, smart investor's rulebook. Right, let's kick things off with the investor's dilemma. Look, to protect yourself, you first have to understand exactly what you're up against. And believe me, the risks are more than just a single bad trade. Now, this is where it gets really interesting, because this reveals the hidden costs. That same CB study found that the average trader who lost money was down about 50,000 rupees. But, and this is a big but, on top of that loss, they paid an extra 28% in transaction costs. So suddenly, your 50,000 rupee loss is actually closer to 64,000. Ouch, the loss really does sting twice. Seeing how those costs just pile up, well, it really drives home why you need protection. So let's talk about your first and most important line of defense, your financial ID. I want you to start thinking of things like KYC and anti-money laundering rules, not as, tedious paperwork, but as your personal security system. So anti-money laundering, or AML, it's not just about catching the bad guys. It's about maintaining the integrity of the whole market. By keeping illicit funds out of the system, it helps make sure the market you're investing in is stable and trustworthy. It's a shield that protects everybody. And this is exactly why KYC is so critical for you. It proves you are who you say you are, helps brokers understand your financial activities, and, this is huge, it prevents criminals from opening bogus accounts in fake names or what are called benami names. That's basically when an account is held by one person for someone else, usually to hide the real owner. So yeah, every step in that KYC process is like another lock on your financial door. Okay, so with our foundational defenses in place, let's move on. Let's talk about the active, day-to-day risks you'll face when you're actually out there trading derivatives. This is the real battlefield. First up, liquidity risk. Okay, picture this. You're trying to sell your house, but there are absolutely no buyers. None. You're just stuck. That's pretty much liquidity risk in trading. You might have a position you desperately need to get out of, but if there's no one on the other side of the trade, especially as a contract gets close to expiring, you could be looking at some serious losses. And next up, leverage. Ah, yes, the very engine of derivatives trading. It is such a powerful tool, but man, it is a double-edged sword. It lets you control a massive position with just a small amount of your own money, which can amplify your gains like crazy. But it will magnify your losses just as powerfully, if not more so. A tiny market move against you can have a gigantic impact on your capital. I want you to listen closely to this quote from the NISM guide. This is a critical warning, especially if you're interested in options. As an option buyer, the most you can lose is the premium you paid. That's your limit. But as an option seller, your potential loss is, and I'm quoting here, unlimited. The market can move against you forever, and you are on the hook for every single bit of it. Finally, there's a really unethical practice you've got to watch out for called churning. This is when a broker makes tons of trades in your account, not to help you, but just to rack up commissions for themselves. Imagine getting your statement and seeing dozens of trades you don't even remember discussing. That is a massive, massive red flag. You have to scrutinize your account statements and ask questions right away if the activity seems way too high. So let's say you've done everything right, but you still run into a problem, like a dispute with your broker. What happens then? Well, let's pivot from all the risks to the solutions. Let's talk about your official rescue plan. The most important thing to remember here is this. You are not alone. There's a formal system in place for this, a grievance redressal mechanism. You have a clear, structured path you can follow to get your issue heard and hopefully resolved. And here is that path, laid out step by step. First, you always go directly to the market participant, your broker, for instance. Give them a chance to fix the problem. If that doesn't work, you escalate your complaint through the SEBI Scores portal. And if you're still not satisfied, the final step is to use the Online Dispute Resolution, or ODR portal. It's a simple, clear, three-tiered system. Whew, we have covered a ton of ground. So let's bring it all together in our final section, the Smart Investor's Rulebook. Think of this as your takeaway guide with everything you need to remember. This slide right here is your ultimate cheat sheet. On the left, you've got the must-dos. Always deal with registered entities, demand contract notes for every single trade, give crystal clear instructions, and only use proper banking channels for payments. Then on the right, the huge red flags to avoid. Never deal with unregistered brokers, don't pay in cash, ignore all those hot tips and rumors, and please be so skeptical of anyone promising guaranteed high returns. There is no such thing in this world. So, we'll leave you with this one final thought. You are now equipped with the official framework, the knowledge to protect yourself in the market. The real question is your next move going to be guided by a clear, informed plan, or by the tempting allure of a simple and probably empty promise? The choice, as always, is yours.